Man that escaped Alcatraz sends a confounding letter to the FBI 50 years later. From the moment that the Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary opened its doors in 1934, authorities bragged that it was inescapable. With the scores of well-armed guards, state-of-the-art security, and rough currents of the San Francisco Bay surrounding the prison, not even the toughest convict could find a way out. But that didn't stop the boldest criminals in Alcatraz from trying. Most inmates were content to quietly pass the time until their release, but three prisoners were desperate to get out: John Morris and brothers Clarence and John Englund. Luckily, they had a plan. They agreed to smuggle a few special items to start the party. Spoons, these utensils wouldn't do much good for tunneling, but a bit of sharpening turned them into handy picks that could chip away at the concrete walls. The conspirators digged a tunnel under their cell sinks, and luckily for them, prisoners were allowed to play music at certain hours of the day, so Morris blasted his accordion to cover up the excavation noise. The dig was slow going, but it gave the trio time to perfect the other parts of their plan. They collected supplies from various blocks of the prison, including a bag of hair trimmings from the barber. Morris and the Englunds constructed masked models of their own heads, complete with real human hair. Hopefully, these sculptures would buy them a few more hours. On the night of June 11th, the convicts made their move. They crawled through their tunnels and broke through a ventilation shaft in the roof. However, the metal grill made a loud clang when they pushed it aside. But the guards made nothing of it. All the prisoners appeared to be in their beds, thanks to the dummy heads that Morris and the Englunds had constructed. It wasn't until the next morning that the guards discovered the ruse. A comprehensive search of the bay turned up a floating paddle, a tattered homemade life jacket, and fragments of the raft. Police deduced that the prison breakers must have drowned during the rough voyage. They assured the public not to worry. But John and Clarence Englund's family received a number of postcards over the years. They could have been pranks, except the trend kept up. Their mother received an anonymous bouquet of flowers every Mother's Day for the rest of her life. Years later, a letter arrived at FBI headquarters, signed by one John Englund. It spelled out the supposed truth of their post-prison lives, stating that all three fugitives lived until old age. John, real or fake, claimed to be the last living member, and he included a shocking request. He said that he had cancer and was willing to re-enter the prison system for a year in exchange for medical treatment. Well, that letter could be the last possible piece of evidence in the famed escape case. We may never truly know if the convicts made it off of Alcatraz alive.